Hi, welcome to Sylvie's Technique Vlog. This is being filmed at a time of quarantine, so lots of us are self-isolating or social distancing in our homes away from each other. Lots of gyms are closed. Normally in my technique vlogs, I will be talking about a technique that I've been working on or thinking about and kind of all the details that go into that. This one is particular in that it is a technique, but it's one that you can do from home. And what I really like about this technique vlog is that by honing this technique when you have absolutely no necessary equipment, people, teachers, gym, anything, anywhere, you can do this in bed when you don't even feel like getting out of bed. You can hone this technique and then you can just get better with it and have it stronger for when you get back to the gym. And this is something that we all need to be really good at anyway. So by getting good at it now, you're putting yourself kind of at the front line for when you actually get back to the gym and can start moving around, working with people and sparring and fighting and things like this. So today's technique vlog is on visualization. If you've done any Googling about mental training or how to do sports psychology or anything like that, visualization is something that's going to come up a lot. When I first heard about visualization, my immediate thought was that's going to be really easy. And then when I tried it, it was really, really hard. So one of the reasons I wanted to make a technique vlog about this is because, like any other technique, visualization is a skill, and it's one that you need to work on in order to strengthen like a muscle. So when I first came across the difficulty of visualization, it was that I didn't know what to visualize. Like, I jumped in really deep. I was trying to visualize a fight, and I had fought before, but I was like, I don't know what my opponent looks like. I don't know what the ring looks like. I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't really know what to imagine. And so everything was really jumbled, and I couldn't really create a narrative or build any kind of confidence out of what I was able to visualize. And so I kind of convinced myself that I didn't know how to do it and that I couldn't do it. But there are things in mental training that I've come across that if you find a cheat to something that you already do, but you don't identify as that thing, you can use that as oh, I've done that before, and kind of build underneath it and realize that you've been doing it and you do have the skills for it already. So for example, I'm a type of person who's really, really bad at relaxing. And so I thought, I just can't relax. But I've actually been falling asleep my entire life. I've done it. And so I clearly have the ability to relax. And so I took what those feelings are when I'm actually falling into sleep, and I can, in my head, recreate those feelings, and it brings me into a state of relaxation that if I just think to myself, relax, I can't get to. You use these same things with visualization. You have visualized in your life before, and so you can use those skills that you don't realize are skills and bring them into visualizing for sport. So if you are coming to this from absolutely nothing, very, very first thing, if you're like, I can't do this, this is how you do this. I'm in a room. I am in the front room of the room that we're renting in Chiang Mai. I'm fairly familiar with it, but even if I had just arrived here 2 minutes ago, if you're in a venue you've never been in before and you're going to try to visualize your fight and you've literally seen the ring once or not at all, I look at the room, I just pan around, now I'm going to close my eyes and try to recreate that image in my head. I just visualized. Didn't think I could, but I did. You can even open your eyes, check, see how accurate you were, take a new visualization, go in, try it again. As you become more comfortable with this, you can go to the next step, which is close your eyes and picture yourself moving in that space. So with my eyes closed, I'm going to picture getting up, walking across, and picking up the car keys that are on the table. That's how you visualize fighting. I don't need to know how the car keys are laying on the table specifically. I can visualize getting over there and picking up the keys and have kind of some scene missing blank spots along the way. But the more I visualize it, the more I calm down and how many steps is it to actually get to the table and things like this. That's honing my skill of visualization. Practice it with completely mundane things first to get the skill down. And then you can start bringing it into the how do I stand in front of an opponent when they punch me, what am I going to be doing, how do I cut them off in the ring, and this kind of thing. A secondary thing that I want to make sure I get across to people in this segment that's for everybody is that there are people who cannot visualize. There are parts of the brain that make it so that you can't do this. You can do something that in the inner game of tennis, very, very famous mental training book that everyone should read. If you've never heard of it, get thee to Google immediately and find this book. The Inner Game of Tennis, the author of this, talks about something called feelmages. This I really, really like because even though I can visualize, and I actually have a photographic memory and very, very good image recall, imagination is very good, I do struggle with visualization at times, but there's this thing he calls feelmages, which is what something feels like. If you can't visualize, like if you literally can't, or if you just struggle with visualization, another angle to take in, even if you're visualizing and you have one of those scene missing things, you can fill it in with the feelmage. It's what something feels like in a space. And you can do it exactly the same way I was just talking about in the room. Look around, close your eyes, and try to picture where everything is. Feel where everything is. I'm sitting here on this couch. If I close my eyes, I don't have to know where anything else in the room is. I can feel how far away the coffee table is. I can feel when people walk by outside the window. Those are feelings. They're like physical mappings. This is also a skill that even if you're good at visualization, I strongly encourage you to also start working on the feelmage because this is incredibly important for sport. In Muay Thai, how you feel with someone in front of you is something you might completely not be prepared for if you've only been visualizing. If you visualize your opponent coming towards you and you haven't also had that feeling of the opponent coming towards you, you're not actually filling out the entire picture of that visualization. So this is something, as I said at the beginning, you can do in bed. So if you're having one of those days when you're in lockdown, you can't go anywhere, and you literally just don't want to do anything, you're completely unmotivated, you don't want to work out, get in your bed, visualize that you got out of bed. You know those dreams you had when you were like, you got ready for school and then you had to wake up and you were like, none of that was real? You can do that. You don't literally have to get out of bed. You don't literally have to go to the gym. You don't even have to run. You don't even have to shadow box. You can, in your head, visualize and feelmagize all of those things that you are not necessarily able to do in the actual spaces or in the space that you're currently in. That is my technique vlog for the public. I really, really want you guys to take this seriously and work on this. This is something that as a skill will put you way ahead of where you were when you get back to your gym if you work on this now. Work on this skill now, and it never actually is something that you've gotten so good at you don't have to keep working on it. You can just get better and better and better at it. If you want to hear more about some of these details and how to work on this, I'm going to talk more about this for my patrons. Link is in the description below. You can click on over there and see the rest of the video. But for those of you watching this part here, get working on it. Even where you're sitting right now, just start mapping the room that you're in, both by feeling and by visualization.